Okay, I'm at a coffee shop. Might be too loud. I refuse to go to Starbucks because of their high IRRs. But yeah, they're making really high IRR on places like the Philippines. So we're talking about IRRs and risk premiums. And the last one is there we kind of showed that if you have this risk premium, you put a different default period in, all sorts of other things, and then you get the risk premium from this horrible website, demo again. Then you can you can get the implied probability of expropriation. So in our Barbados example here, we have a 92% chance that there's going to be they're going to void the contract. If we have a larger probability loss given default, that means we get even lower of our base amount. Then there's an 88% chance. So those are the kind of things we can do. And this whole thing does work with a whole bunch of goals. On the next one, we're going to, somebody might say, oh, you didn't include this as equity return, and you didn't put any leverage on it, you didn't put any gearing on it. So we're going to do this whole thing with debt leverage, and we're going to use the interest rates and some different assumptions for interest rates for different countries. And I think I'm going to wait with putting all our spinner boxes in. But we'll start with, how about oops, oh, shoot, what did I just do? LPIS, and let's make it 50 years. So let's start with 0. So we've got our base little model set up, and then we can put a light switch. And I have my caps lock on. Okay, and we got an extra column here. We can document our things a little bit better. So just make this one less than or equal to 30. I gotta go a little louder here. I think it's getting really loud. And then we're also gonna put a debt tenor, so we put a repayment. Which, of course, you could make it ridiculously fancy, but we're gonna try to keep it simple. Okay, so we have those two switches, and then so 1, Alt H9, Alt H9. Okay, that didn't do much, so I'll put a column. So now if we just want a simple level repayment, because we're going to have a simple level cash flow, we can put equal PMT, and put the interest rate, and the number of periods, and a minus on the amount of the debt, which is 80% of the capex. So 1, let's make this 3%. We'll make it aggressive, And then so our cash flow in the period, we put a minus on this one, and then we can get our F4 times the operating line, and our debt is a minus on the 80%. Well, let's just put the 80% times this, and the payment is this one times the repayments. Equity cash flow is this, get our results. Our IRR results, our target IRR was 6%, and our IRR, oops, bad, plus the cap value is bad. So this time we're going to do it instead of drinking a sip of coffee in my nice little coffee shop here, and we get the difference, and we can call this diff 4 because, and this cash flow, we can call it CF. No, how's that? Nope, that won't work. CF underscore 1. The reason CF wouldn't work is because CF1 is a shift control. Okay? It wouldn't work because that's a cell, name of a cell. Hope you still can hear me. Let's go to the data. What if analysis, but before we do that, I want to make a macro, so we'll like macro, it's what if analysis, go sig, make a difference, 0. I know you're getting sick of this, but in a way, you know, it's, yeah, okay. And let's stop the macro, and let's at least go to a developer tab and get a button for the macro. So we'll eventually attach it to a bunch of things, but for now, I think that's pretty loud. We can do this. Let's press Shift and C because what's it called? Excuse me. Generic macros are open, so we can get a little bit lower of our cash flow and make it all work. Now, if now we'll try the same sorts of things with our data. So we're made it flexible so we can use whatever country we want. And I'm going to just put 100 of cash flowing. I hate that when it does that. I should have a macro. We'll use the same operating life for now. I think that's reasonable. I want to keep it so for this time the target equity IRR is our let's put our risk premium, and our risk premium is now I put that up. No, I didn't. Let's put the risk premium up because that's the first thing to start with. So you can see we put more of the applet on there. So we put that here, and we'll just get our risk premium. And then we can put our total target IRR as the target IRR from the original plus this. Barbados, for some reason, had a very, very high risk premium. God knows why. Now the debt percentage, we'll have to put in a different debt percentage. Let's say we only get 50% debt. The interest rate as well is going to be a whole lot different. Now, I guess this is rating-based default spread, whatever. So this is the, I guess they take the bond rating and they compute it. And then this is CDS spread. This is the additional credit spread, I guess. And let's see if they have either one of these. So, rating, default, spread. So what we do again, this is 21, so if it's an index, I don't know why he didn't do that. It's so much easier to work with the index than anything else, so we can just click on that line to get our rating-based default spread. Whoops. That can't be right. Of course. I'm an idiot. I should have started with this. So number we get from shift control P, and then we put our credit default swap, because we're really cool. We can write something called a credit default swap. We are so good that we can write this down. What a bunch of shit. Sorry. And we put that in, and we get our credit default swap. So for Barbados, we don't have anything, and I'm going to put equal. How about, if we have a credit default swap, let's take it. So, so credit spread, and how about it? Yeah, this, then we take this. Whoops, but that doesn't give us an error. Oh shit, I wish he would have just used that regular NA. What a bunch of crap. This is just such shit when you have to do this. Okay, so that's the credit spread we use. It's not that much different than the probability of expropriation. So we let's put a base interest rate, the same way we did before, and just use our German interest rate. Now you can go to another video on there. Oh God, it's really getting loud now. They're making a cappuccino with something. We can then get bigger credit spread. So this quality of the video might be so bad I might have to eliminate it. Total interest rate. I'm going to just keep going and see how it works. Select these, alter these. Now the other thing is the tenor is probably going to be a lot shorter. So let's put a 10-year tenor instead of a long-term one. Shift to 3, shift to 10, and then so our total payment is PMT, and our rate is our interest rate, and our periods are the tenor, and then we put a minus on the capex times the year. Okay, so we're going to need some spinner buttons on the gearing. And what we're going to need is also another switch for this tenor. Okay. And now I think I might have to pause because I think people are going to come sit next to me. This is going to be a very good experiment. You can still hear me. You know, I might mark that. I'm going to have to mark on this video. This got very poor quality, so that doesn't really matter. So our operating cash flow, just like we had before now, why don't we down a little. And now this is our we've got the country we looked at. So we can fill in our operating cash flow for the line. Just F4 and multiply that by the right shift. Shift control 1, shift control I. That services and minus. This will just be a simple minus times that value. Then we put our payment, multiply that by the equity cash flow as just the total minus IRR results, and we're looking for a target IRR. Maybe we put this over here. We're looking for an IRR of 15%. And IRR this one. And we're going to have to now make another base sheet, yet another base sheet. This time, how about we'll call this one? Oh, this last time we put it in like this one called difference 5. And this So once we have this, then we can do a whole same sort of analysis. Let's name this one first. This one second. Put the natural. Put red 2 maybe. When I did something really bad, I moved this around, that's not really a big deal. And shift control C so we can see what's the real inputs. We need 133 for Barbados, and we need 59 for Germany. Same sort of difference. Copy this one. So our second button. Then we assign this to what we're going to do now. Leaving the video on, there's a good argument for switching it off, I suppose. But I think this is just so important. I'm probably going to make about 20 more videos like this. And then we'll let's kind of copy this step, and we'll do the same kind of analysis. It's really almost just the same. And, okay, we'll put the year of default this time 2. Make it in 2. Read that. That's just a number. That's number 8 is the norm. Let's make the default loss given default 60. So we have the same kind of thing where we put a default period where this then has to be greater than this number. Let's do it again. Put it in this period has to be greater than. Okay, and then we have a same sort of thing where we pick the scenarios. In the default scenario, we have if it's default, then we take the Barbados cash flow, and all we get is 1 minus the loss given default. F4, but if it's not a default period, then we get the whole Barbados cash. Okay, so that's the same thing we did here. If there's no default, that's even easier. We just get the total Barbados cash flow. Just control R. And what happened is right after the default, now it went way down because of the default. And then we just multiply this by the 80% plus this times the 20%. That's kind of like a little decision tree, what it's supposed to look like. And that's our expected cash flow. And that expected cash flow is still higher than German cash flow, so we've actually still earned a better IRR. So we can put IRR. Oops. And we have to put the minus just a second. I think I should have done this with excuse me, I should have done this with equity cash flow. I should have. That's a better way to do it. I guess the probability and the loss given default is it's not like debt, it's how much you get from the equity. So it might be very fair on this one to have a much higher loss given default. So I'm not going to deny that. So let's make the loss given default 80%. So we only get 10% of our equity back. Maybe we don't need to get that. And then we'll put an equal sign and find our well, this time it's not quite as good because in terms of our equity cash flow, our IRR is lower than German, so we need to assume a lower cash flow, and our target IRR, again, this is just because we put in all the directly accounted for the probabilities of default. Our IRR is just this one, and let's call this 3.6, and let's call this PB1. Okay. Now we can derive the probability of default. So we go to What if analysis and sig, but before we do that, we put it what if analysis let's set the difference from 6 to 0 by changing the PD1. Put in our macro. So this is only a 76% probability. We get all that fancier stuff. And then let's go and modify the macro. Make it 6 and PD1.
Okay.
You said where's one place?
I think this is CF1 and CF2. Let's see if it really does. CF2. This could be. This works in terms of using it to hear me, I'll be shocked. But otherwise I'll just have to put the file on the internet. I'm going to stop it now, it's just too loud.